woman, black hips, black kiss, black lips, afro with a black pick. Love when you talk that blackish. Black man, black fist,
Vocal dialect,
black grip,
like, comment, subscribe.
Vocal Dialect Podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Vocal Dialect Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe.
Black schools, black scholars, black doctors, black designers, black garments, black stage, black performance, black panel, black audience, black mothers, black fathers, black sons, black daughters, black love, black honor. You black today, you're gonna be black tomorrow. Black woman, black hips.
I'm talking about y'all foundational Americans. What is the foundation of America? Bloodshed. What is the foundation of America? Genocide. Right. What is the foundation of America? Homosexuality. They homosexualize your boy and you let Dwayne Wade talk to you. It's time to put down celebrities. Goddamn it, celebrities don't do nothing but sorry about that. But it's time to wake up. Independence Day? Independence for you. Independence to do what? Vote? I'll wait. What is it? Vote or die. Our ancestors died to vote. No, our ancestors died at the hands of monsters. Our ancestors died because they could kill us. So like my brother said, if we can show you without a shadow of a doubt that everything is the problem of the European, would you get down and help us with justice? Or would you get back in the curve for revolution like Brother Malcolm told us?
Don't be scared of freedom.
Don't be scared.
I titled this, I changed the title a few times before I settled on this one. I started off by saying silence equals consent. But then I changed it and I said, the biggest problem in black families. And what I mean by that is I was listening to a video of Floyd Mayweather on The Pivot with Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder, and I feel like it's somebody else I'm missing, Fred Taylor, and if I'm missing anybody else, but probably know this podcast. And it gets to the part where he's talking about Puffy, P. Diddy, P. Daddy, him. And, you know, the thing, before I get into that, the thing that always bothers me about Floyd Mayweather, he always talks like he just had CTE since he been a fetus. But it always painful to listen to him to just talk. I done what I need to do, and I don't know what to do. Anyway, that crap. But they're talking about Diddy and his allegations of what he's done, and we know. But Floyd starts this ambiguous rant and talking about, or speech, and start talking about we have to, you know, basically kind of like mind our business and, you know, don't kick a man when he's down because he don't know if it is true or isn't true. He don't agree with it, but, you know, and that's always a telltale sign when somebody says, I don't agree with this, but, or, you know, it's always kind of like unclear what in the hell they talking about. But he says, you know, things happen in life, you know, and who are we to go on the internet and judge and kick a man when he down? You know, that same thing. Same thing they did with Monique and her husband. Mind our business. Mind you that most of these celebrities put their business out to be critiqued. Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade mind their business on that boy's sexuality when they put it out and they champion this young man as some transgender homosexual staple. And I have a problem with the homosexual agenda, not homosexual people, the homosexual agenda. You people that refer to men and women as cis. I got a problem with y'all. I have a problem with people that want to force sexuality on children. I'm not going to say what you do in your bedroom is your business. What you bring out your bedroom and try to force on me is my business. So what I mean when I say the biggest problem in our community is our silence. And I'm going to get back to Floyd Mayweather, but our silence. And he goes on to say a whole bunch of nothing about Diddy and not taking a stance and saying that that's him, that crap. I already explained it. But the problem that bothers me, he goes and says, even if that was my daughter, I would be hurt. But that's basically her choice, or basically what she chose. And I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, children make their choices. Listen, I got an adult son and grands, so I'm at a different level of fatherhood. Most people, if you have young children, you're raising. I've already raised a son. I'm raising my granddaughter. So I'm at a different level. I understand. So this guy, I am qualified to speak when you have adult children. Most people be speaking and not qualified. They're only vicariously or speaking to just having children. But you have to, so what makes me qualified to speak? Because I have an adult son. And what's problematic about his statement that says, I'll be hurt, but that would be her choice. You know why that would be her choice, little dog, Floyd Mayweather? Is because you never showed her she had different choices. I keep telling y'all women with females about all of this providing. A man must provide. You can go and he can go to work and you stay at home while he provides. I have no problem with that. Zero problem if that's how you want to live your life. If you want to live your life as a quote unquote traditional woman, whatever floats your boat. As my boy Andre 3000 say in the whole world, whatever floats your boat, find your lost remote. Whatever floats your boat. But what I'm speaking to, young ladies that I hope hear this video, do not surround yourself or depend on a dude to provide for you, right? And here's why. Because if he's not stable in his head, if he's not stable in his spirit, and if he hasn't dealt with himself, and you're the homemaker, you don't really have a job or a source of income. He's the primary breadwinner, right? So you build your life around him. And if he's controlling, if he's abusive, if he's all of these things, where you gonna go? He work. You don't. He's got money. You don't. He pay all the bills. You don't. You're dependent on him. We're not in ancient times. We're not in the early 1900s. Mental illness has went up severely. So when we're looking at our grandparents and our great-grandparents, and even Papa was a Rolling Stone, right? So, but when we're looking at those generations, they didn't have to deal with transgenders. They didn't have to deal with granddad having rap dreams, being a reformed dope boy or being a dope boy, being a trapper, being a killer. Now, Pop might have been a gangster back in the day, but being a real, you know what I'm talking about. Or just being, everybody love this word, just being a self-centered narcissist. So if he got a host of anger issues that he hasn't dealt with, because to be a black man in America is not no joke. So it's not about judging, but on the scales of Maya, you use your judgment. We don't judge nobody because we all victims of racism, white terrorism. Right? So as Nana Bobby E. Wright used to say, everybody got the right to have sick people. But it's when you are living and he's trying to function as a sane person. So this is why she would have a baby with an NBA young boy. Because he most likely didn't have a stable black man in his life talking sanity in him. He most likely didn't have a stable black mother mentally, physically, spiritually. I didn't say good or bad. I said stable. So if he's the breadwinner and he's the man making the money, meaning NBA youngboy, and he has an alleged reputation of being very abusive to girls. So that's why you play the cowardice role, Floyd Mayweather, and say, even if that was my daughter, I'd be hurt. But that's her choice because her daddy never showed her a real father. No, don't come in my comments talking about how do I know. And what comes out your mouth, your knowledge is an indicator of your behavior, as the great Steve Coakley would say. Knowledge is an indicator of your behavior. So in this case, what you speak out your mouth is an indicator of your behavior. Your output reflects your input and vice versa. Your input reflects your output. So when you say these things, you're speaking on what's in here. That's how I know. He's provided a life that young lady that'll take 2 lifetimes to see. But her choice and what she picks is totally different because of what her vision as the first man she fell in love with was. Didn't little Boosie's daughter tell you that nigga was the first man? That's what she said. That nigga was the first person to break my heart. And you chump stains got up there talking about, almost it's Team Boosie, boo. Because y'all are silent to abuse. Y'all like celebrities. Y'all are followers. So you overlook bad behavior. You overlook SAN. You overlook being an abuser to children. That's the biggest thing that plaguing our community. And it's a side effect of racism, white terrorism. I watched, and I was talking about this in my last video. I watched Jared Fogle. I'm still watching this. And just like with Larry Nassar, I talked about this in my last video. How they allowed Allie Raisman, who I think was a small hat herself, to be the champion of them young girls and to look her victim in the eye and tell her victim how she felt as they was getting ready to sentence him. We blame our victims. We come down and we say, well, what did the victim do to deserve it? Since we love the white folks comparison, we love the other races comparison, right? We say we the only race that do da. When we speaking in our lower nature and our self-hate, we say we are the only race that do. We are our own worst enemy. How many of y'all done said that? We are our own worst enemy. No, it ain't. Our own worst enemy will always be racism, white terrorism. I'm not talking about the white person that at the store. I have no problem with an individual white person. I have no problem. But it's the collective and it's the agenda and it's the way they have controlled your mind to make you be silent to things like that, to make you say things on national TV like that as a millionaire. So as Albert Bandura has always talked about in The Model, aka the role model. How many up-and-coming young men are going to be boxers that's going to look up to Floyd Mayweather for his fighting style, not even on how he thinks, because we don't really factor that in. We just like what he able to do in the ring. In the ring, he is a bad mofo. And that was standing so I'm saying, hey, mofo. But in the ring, he a bad boy, right? His workout, his commitment, his dedication. See, this ain't no hater. You able to see a person good and bad. But it's that output that I'm talking about. It's your output that you're speaking, y'all. So he's phenomenal in that ring. He's phenomenal to watch fight. But if he's an influence to Shakur Stevenson, if he's an influence to people like Devin Haney, now Devin Haney got his father in his corner. Now Bill Haney, things I can speak on about you, but sometimes just having your father in your life make a world of difference, right? If he's there, right? So just to understand our code of silence, silence equals consent. If we say, hey, well, him abusing her, hey, she ain't gonna do nothing but go back to him. Yes, because that's the self-hate and the abuse that she loves. Stockholm Syndrome. We don't want to leave this place, dude. We don't want to fathom white people as anything other than magnificent and the most intelligent people. So everybody runs back to their abuser, right? But do that mean you deserve to be abused? Some could debate. That's on you. But understanding the pathology. We look at how we speak, and I was speaking to my son, and I was talking to him about allowing our children to play professional sports. Because in the conscious community, wherever that is, we have a tendency to overdo things, right? We either really love it or we really hate it. As my great bro would always say, we very absolute about things. We absolute, right? So we say, stop them from playing sports. Stop them from playing for the white man, right? You might catch me say that. No, you might not catch me say that. Let me think about that. No. But because I understand it deeper, this is what I will say to that. We have to understand the society and the times that we're in, right? Let me say it like this. We have to understand society and the times we're in, right? So for most of us, we need to understand ourselves at our highest level. I'm always going to say that. But where are we? So if we look at things like how when Yao Ming came to the NBA, remember how it was such a, and if I'm not mistaken, anybody that know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember Yao Ming having something possibly in his contract that he always had to look out for his people in China. And remember how when they drafted Tony Parker, they had to wait for a while for Tony Parker? And I want to say the same thing for Manu Ginobili and Dirk Nowitzki, but I'm not sure on those two, so I'm not going to speak like I'm sure on that one. But what I'm saying is they have a cultural pride. Because even though they might have war-torn spaces or countries, some of them, they still have their sense of pride. They still have their sense of understanding who they are because they haven't been dispersed all over the world. So you don't have a Chinese person in New York saying, I know Chinese. I've been here. We've been here. That's how I would imagine they would say it. We've been here. I've been here. So because they always understand who they are, right? And they haven't been broken the way Black people have been broken and dispersed, right? Not only physically, but mentally and spiritually. So to loop it back around to, they're going to take care of their own abusers and everything. See, this is one thing I want us to stop doing. Stop specifying and acting like we are the only ones that put up with. We were made mental silent. White people were the blueprint of insanity, right? we were turned against each other. Just go back and look at our history that we so proudly talk about all the time. This is what I was talking about in my last video, talking about engineering consent. Edward Bernays, Willie Munsonberg. I always talk about John B. Watson. I'm not just calling names for fun. These people actually did things. So it's not always that the black man wanted to be a criminal. He was made criminal. Criminality was the only way he felt like he could feed his children. Even the way we look at crime, we call white people crime, oh, that's a blue collar crime. As if it's a whole different type of crime. That's a crime. We can watch the president of the United States go through a trial and still can run. Criminality though, right? Because they control how you look at crime. As great Nana Amos Wilson say, understand the criminality. Right? So I want us to understand, always gonna say, because I'm child-centered in my soul, that our babies are watching. Have those talks with your daughter. Protect her. Have those talks with y'all sons, fellas. Protect them. Love on your sons. I ain't got no fancy speech to give you. I don't have no fancy things to talk about with your hair follicles. I want you to understand you and yours. I want you to understand love. I want you to understand how to give it. I want you to understand how to receive it. Not toxic and pissed on. And what grandmama taught us. I love my grandmother. I ain't had the best relationship, but I love my grandmother somewhat. And that's just real. But some things she taught me, I'm not taking forward. Some things that I love my mom dearly. Some things my mom taught me, I got to discard it. Some things my pops didn't teach me much. So something I'm saying is to say, maybe some of the ways your family looked at relationships wasn't right. Just because they said it, don't make it right, y'all. Were they healed in themselves? So what I want to say is protect yours. Love on them. Make your environment beautiful for them. Don't teach them hypocrisy. Don't teach them because you got a phallus that you can do something that if you didn't, you can't. Don't teach them that. Don't teach them babies that. You teach them balance because that's what we need. Peace.
Black woman, black hips, black kiss, black lips, afro with a black pick. Love when you talk that blackish. Black man, black fist, black gat, black grip, backlashed on the blacklist. Still gon' talk that blackish. Black man, black plan, black people, black land, cash and change, only black hands, black businesses, black brand, black banks, black dollars, black